Hey Gaga, welcome in. How's it going today? And I think I'm gonna have a bit of trouble with the camera today, because it seems like the scroll wheel quick or scroll wheel click in my mouse is dying. It still works when I press it in a bit of a weird way, but it does not usually work, so I will have a bit of trouble today with panning around the camera, I think. Because, yeah, it is a bit weird. I have to, like, angle my finger in a bit of a weird way for it to work, but whatever, it is what it is. How are you cutie doing today? I think we're gonna do something different today than I thought we would do, because I actually kind of forgot a bit about this area that we started prior to the patch. I did not have time to check it. I did not see what exactly is going on, if you can spoiler without me having looked at it. Because I've seen you complain, but I am quite clueless what for, to be honest. What happened in the PDX forum? Who dare ruining Cute Gaga's good mood? Any actual drama, or what is happening exactly? That looks a lot smoother, and now this looks horrible. This we definitely have to fix up slightly. Is that actually the ground? Why is this so rough here? I guess we'll try terraforming. But yeah, I did not have time to see, so I have no clue what happened in the PDX forum. But don't be grumpy, I don't like Gaga grumpy. Oh, with the... Yeah, I've read you and others discussing about that. I've also seen that mod, and I also think it looks sketchy, but... Yeah, don't argue with people online, not worth it. I guess we have to use terrain. I don't understand why the terrain here is so shitty, but it doesn't matter. We can just use terrain blocks. But yeah, definitely a little weird. Let's find a long, very wide one we can throw over there. Even with the terrain block, we still have a little issues. Maybe it's the parking lots itself. But I'm actually a bit surprised. You see what's happening here, Gaga, right? Look at the... Yeah, this is a lot smoother already. But now we get an ugly cut here. I think we have to raise all of the parking lots here. Yeah, okay, the parking lots are what is off. This is still not optimal, to be honest, but... I guess we can also connect this road. I was hoping we cannot connect this road, but then the truth is with the new adjusted... I'm still not a fan of the new roadware. Is there any plans, or has the maker of the roadware tool ever said something about wanting to make an update or something? Because wholeheartedly, I would love to have the roadware changer back. I don't like the new roadware. Yes, I agree with most people, so please don't misunderstand me. I agree this looks better in most builds, but in our desert build, it's definitely worse than not what we had vanilla, but what we had with the roadware adjuster. Because, yeah, in the desert, I think this looks too strong, sadly. Yeah, but I have not installed Lumina in a long time. I believe Lumina is a lot better than when I last tried it, so probably I should give it a shot again. But yeah, I've not used Lumina in a long time either. And welcome in, Jay. Actually, I want to have a look because Jay reminded me to replace the animals, and I did so prior to stream. But I did not have a look at the animals yet, and if they look normal again, they should. I can only say they should, but will they? In fact, let's have a real quick look and welcome in. Also, I should change my map theme. I'm in one of the map themes that I've been trying around with for my other build. It's not bad for Los Vagos either, to be honest. I quite like the colors in Los Vagos. But our decals and everything are matched to the other map theme, so I guess we should jump back on that. But let's have a real quick look. One of the good examples for the animals, I guess, would be here with Gaga. And I'm gonna say I place both packs, Jay, so this maybe is my fault, but I changed the one that you sent me without the obsolete identifier, and I placed your new one. Fair to say that kinda confuses the game. I might have to just switch to the new one and replace all animals, to be honest, because yeah, I mean the animals are here, some of them at least. There should be more pigs somewhere here as well. But yeah, this is not fixed yet. Maybe I've done something wrong as well. But again, I just placed the two ones you sent me. So I was hoping that it works correctly, but it doesn't. Also, why did this move? This is so weird. Did they adjust something about this? This has not been this high. I'm 100% certain. And this is gonna be annoying. Well, I guess we can use extra transform tool, because else it's gonna be a bit difficult to touch anything here, but this was way lower. Something like this, roughly. Entirely, this looks like... Did they change something about this mesh? I'm sure this was placed different. Like, this was not on the road, this was not on the pile, this was more... like this. Now, yeah, look at them. They changed something about this mesh. All of these meshes have moved their position. That's actually very curious. Because these were all different. And now with these, I find it so... Is that... Oh, it's a static ploppable, so it's buildings, actually. But yeah, so curious. Why did all of these adjust? Because these also, like, not only did they adjust in elevation, but they actually also adjusted slightly in their position. Like, this was entirely in that building and over the road. Pretty much like it is now. And welcome in, Urban. Nice to see you, cutie. I'm just noticing that there is this mesh here that definitely changed during the update, and all of them quite harshly changed their position. So I did not plan on doing this, but I'm gonna remove them quick. And I already said it to Gaga. I'm gonna repeat it so you guys are not confused. I have a bit of an issue with my scroll wheel in my mouse. It seems like my mouse is shortly before dying. So I will probably have a little issue with the camera today, because the scroll wheel click that you pan your camera with usually is kinda dying / giving up on me. And I can tell that sometimes when I try to pan the camera around, it does not want to cooperate with me like I would like it to. So yeah, don't be confused if I struggle with the camera a bit, that is the reason. Well, I wish so. It's a cable mouse. If the solution would be as simple, I mean, it's the same mouse I've been using with mouse. I think I'm very much like that. I've been rebuying the same mouse for many years because I really like
Oh,
this
that's
mouse.
cute.
So every time one breaks, I buy the next one. And enjoy your lure, Galgando, and welcome in, Cons. Are all of your problems entirely fixed, Cons? They are, right? At least from my understanding, it looks like they are. And I want to see real quick if something else moved. Why did this move? I'm so confused still. Did they add or change something about the category of this? Because we never usually have that some older meshes adjust their position. I think we also use it somewhere here, maybe. Actually, this is a different pipe. I just want to check real quick if we use this somewhere else, because if so, I want to adjust it as well. Have you finally given in and decided to play on Marble Mountain? Because I know you were fighting quite heavily with yourself on what build to go for. But yeah, I don't think you can do anything wrong with Marble Mountain, to be honest. Also, real quick question, because I'm gonna change this very soon. What do we think about this map theme? This is something I've been playing around for the other map, and I have just not changed it around on Los Vagos. I had something very similar to this. I adjusted the grass surface of the pack a little, so now it looks quite different. I'm not sure if I love it or hate it. I kinda love it. It's not optimal for Los Vagos, because here our textures are not matched to go on this theme, so some of our transitions are not as smooth as they should be, but outside of that, I'm very curious what you guys think about these colors and the map theme itself. Because again, I do think this is very close to where I want to be. I'm not 100% happy. I want to try a bit more around, but it is difficult. I'd like to have a bit more variation. I'd like to have a bit more of a mix between dry grass and like normal deserty sand and rocks. But it is very difficult to transition between surfaces without the tiling getting super noticeable. So right now this is the best kind of compromise I could find. So again, curious what people think about this. I don't think you should ever be scared of that. I've been thinking about that quite a bit. I don't think anybody should ever be scared of playing the same map, because especially in a map with as much variation of Marble Mountain, I do think takes are gonna be drastically different on them, right? So I think even if you basically do the exact same build as somebody else on the same map, I don't think there is much risk on properly doubling it up, so I'm glad you found something else you like. I'm curious what you find. But I don't think you should ever be scared away of a map just because somebody else is playing on it already. Though it's interesting you say that, because I was thinking about the map that I've been building for myself, and I've been putting a lot of time into that build, because I may or may not have underestimated water a little, and water... I mean, I knew water is going to be a lot of work, but let's say water is a bit more a lot work than I thought it is. So I put a lot of time into doing the water already. And the more I think about it, maybe I actually like the idea of not publishing the map. Maybe, and it's a bit of an assy move, because I actually think the map is gonna come out very cute. but for the sake of having a very unique build, I kinda get what you're saying, Cons, because I also was thinking maybe it's nice if we are the only people playing our own save. So I'm a bit unsure, but wholeheartedly I've been thinking about that kinda similar to what you've been saying. So I can imagine, probably I will not, because on the other hand, I would love to see what people built on a map that I made myself. So I'm fairly sure I will release, but I've been thinking about it as well. And what is the map you decided on in the end? Gaga, I can't follow up while stream. I'm gonna check it out after stream because I'm very curious on what's happening. But I'm not sure what you did or what is going on in the PDX forum. But it does not sound like it's making you very happy today, Gaga. Don't listen to people. You're very cute, even if people say something else. You can, if anybody, Gaga, if anybody has complaints about you, you can tell them to just contact your manager and then send them a link to my Discord, and I will tell these people off. Nobody fight with my cute Gaga. I mean, Gaga already is a mod, but I guess not on the PDX forum, but in my cute the boss Discord. Also, what the heck? Why is this? Yeah, we definitely, I don't know why this happened. This was really smooth in the last patch, but I guess while we weren't playing, this decided to not be smooth at all anymore. What is going on? Why is this? Do we have terrain leveling blocks here as well? Should. Is this a yeah, I think this is a terrain leveling block and it's just too flat. I guess we moved that one on accident. This is too high. This is a fine middle ground, I guess. Yeah, now the road is not as shitty anymore. In all of that area here, it still is, but I guess here we can also... we don't even need to manually correct it. We just need to move that... Oh, we actually need to manually adjust it. Okay, no worries. Then we need to go in here and fix this up a little, because yeah, obviously we don't want our road to look this bad. Not the perfection we strive for. And I know I said we're gonna build a gun range today, but I have to admit part of why we're doing something different is that we didn't play Los Vagos for so long. I forgot a bit what kind of things we were working on and what we need to still do. And I entirely forgot about this strip mall that we really did a lot of progress on and then kinda abandoned in the middle. I think I'm not even sure if we did this on stream or off stream, but I hope you guys appreciate this, because I actually went really hard on right everywhere here, and the selection of brands is a very specific one. All of these brands that you guys can see in this strip mall is something that I really think about when I think about the US. I don't know, Walgreens for me is just the absolute classic. I don't know why Applebee's has such a special place in my heart. I can't believe it, but yeah, we're getting there slowly, and I do think all of these turned out beautiful. It's a bit hard to see, but all of these have some nice depth to it. It's just right everywhere. Like, it's super quick to do all of this with right everywhere, but yeah, I made all of these with right everywhere, which honestly, making it is already taking too much credit. It is very quick and easy to do those things with right everywhere, so I don't want to pretend that I have done something big here, because I totally didn't. I'm still very unhappy with how crooked the entire terrain in this area looks. Maybe we have to yeet out all of the terrain leveling blocks and start getting this a bit smoother, because prior to the update, this was all smoother than it is now. Now all of this is so... You guys can see this, right? None of this looks properly smooth. I'm not a fan of this. Gonna try something here that might help us. But yeah, currently this does not bring me any happiness. I mean, that already helps to be a bit smoother. But yeah, it's still not great. Like even here, we obviously can fix all of this. But we're kind of fixing around terrain that just sucks by itself. So, not too sure if this is the solution we want to take. And who's that moderator, Gaga? He's one of the official forum moderators. Because if he insulted you, then yeah, that's not okay. Obviously, you can disagree as a forum, but especially if you're a moderator in a forum, then yeah, insults are obviously a no-go. Yes, I know that Whole Food needs a bigger building. You are right, though, in all fairness, especially in New York, where I've been in, I guess that's the place where I've been into Whole Foods the most. In New York, quite a few of the Whole Foods are pretty small, right? Because New York is expensive, and they have some of those small ones that are a bit daily-like, I guess. So, yes, obviously you're right, especially in more rural areas. But it's not like Whole Foods does not also have some smaller outlets in it. But yeah, we can totally replace this. I need to check. I loaded in quite a bit of different... Yeah, now this is a problem. This is Ross. We have a few alternatives. Maybe we can, because you do make a good point, maybe we can exchange this with something. These we're all using. Maybe we should... this is so big. I think this I want to use somewhere else. I mean, we could make this small. But yeah, you do make a good point that maybe this should be somewhere else. Maybe this should be Chase Bank instead. Or a Best Buy, but obviously for Best Buy this is also a bit small, but then actually the Best Buy logo looks very nice there. I mean, I guess that's also a very specific New York thing, right? Like my brother used to live in the Lower East Side in New York. And I mean, Manhattan is so expensive. People don't have space in their flats for laundry or anything. They use goddamn fucking laundry servers, right? And generally there is little supermarkets and a lot of dailies and stuff like that. So I think same goes for supermarkets. Land is so expensive. Yeah, they do totally take fairly small ones. And now this is gonna be a bit annoying because we're exchanging this later on. So we actually have to go through all of our different layers here and adjust the size. Did I adjust the size wrong already? Oh, we put 100, not 110. But yeah, this is a bit annoying. Again, shouldn't be the case, but since we replace it afterwards and not from the get-go, we will have to go through here and replace it like this. But yeah, generally, obviously, you're absolutely right, and Whole Foods is gigantic, and even in New York, most of the Whole Foods are gigantic. But then they're a bit further outside. Anything that is quite central really is small in New York because of the prices. It's not that many layers, guys. Don't be too scared. Oh, that was it already. See, that wasn't that bad. Oopsala, I did not mean to click that. The question is if the alignment is good, but yeah, I actually think probably even visually this is better, and it's definitely more logical than having a Whole Foods there. The question is if the logo is a bit too small. I think probably I overcorrected the size a bit too much to the lower end. So I think, sadly, we're gonna have to go back and make this a little bigger than what I've done here right now. Because especially looking from further away, that logo is by far the smallest, which I'm not a fan of, especially for Best Buy. Should be fairly quick. We don't have to change anything beside the size. I actually think 120 is probably what we want. It's only like 10 layers or even less than 10, so don't you guys worry. It's going to be a fairly quick operation. And let me catch up in chat real quick. And why are they so angry? Like, I understand that, I mean, to some degree I understand, because while you're right pointing out that people should be cautious and everything, I guess it's still somebody, even if with mainly AI, puts work into trying it to get a mod running. So again, I did not follow up on the conversation, but yeah, I'm surprised that people are so heated about it. I don't see why any of that would require to be so heated for them. And yeah, here we're back to what annoys me about this entire area, and it is these gaps in the terrain. I will probably go and fix all of this up properly off stream, but I can tell you guys this is gonna be a finicky fight because I will have to flatten everything. I will do that off stream. Like, I don't want to bore you guys this much. I'm fine with boring you guys sometimes, but not to this degree. But yeah, the terrain here definitely is horrible, and I'm not happy with how any of this is going. I'm also not making it any better with my quick corrections here. Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave this as it is, and the terrain is one of the things I'll fix up off stream. I'm curious with the brands, because for me, obviously, as somebody who's traveled a lot in the US but doesn't live in the US, none of these brands have any local area I would say they belong to. Are many of these brands something that is specific to something? Because I guess most of my US experience are Arizona, so it's not an accident that our build looks as Arizona-y as it does. And maybe our brands actually manage to carry that across as well. Not entirely sure. And with these, I'm also thinking if we can build them into... do we turn this into a hotel or do we turn this into condos? Because the more I think about it, I actually think I kind of want this to be condos, not a hotel, but I can't properly decide either. Here I want to see, can we find one that is very small? I guess this one is not perfectly what I want, but is a proper beautiful shopping mall. We can actually do some more appropriate decoration here than we usually do. So let's give this some nice or green flair. Yeah, one of the shops I definitely want to have in my build as well, and I think maybe they went broke already, to be honest, but it's a brand I have a lot of good childhood memories of is Jack in the Box, which I sadly could not find a nice logo. They nowadays have a very ugly logo, but I know that as a kid I was very excited to go to Jack in a Box. So a lot of the brand choices I'm taking are not because it's the best brands or anything. It's purely down to me having good memories about those. But supermarkets in the US have always confused me in general, at least compared to Germany. I feel like US supermarket prices are incredibly different. Like, yes, in Germany you also have a bit like regional differences, but they are fairly low. And then generally you have very little difference in between the different stores, right? Like, yes, the discounters will be a bit cheaper, and yes, the more premium brands are going to be a bit more expensive, but it's generally all fairly aligned. And in the US, I always felt like even a trip of 2 minutes in a car can make prices go up and down by, like, not just a little, but actually, like, I don't know, feels like 40%, something like that, depending on the supermarket you go to. And that is very, something very weird to me, because that is not something you can find anywhere here. What is the biggest supermarket in Florida, Const? Because I think supermarkets is pretty much what I struggle the most with to find really good examples, because obviously it's like Whole Foods, yes, but Publix, okay, curious. I guess that is very regionally different. Which supermarket is the like main and biggest one? One of the things that the more I look at this, I think I want to redo quite drastically is that when I think about an American strip mall like this, I think the layout and the parking lot and all of this is very nice. I'm missing some fast food building when you enter. I think especially in many of those US strip malls with those parking lots, you have like fast food businesses already at the entrance hall, somewhere where you go in towards the street. And I think we're going to use this space. I think we're going to go ahead and move this shopping cart structure that we have somewhere else, not entirely sure where. I guess here we have enough space for it. And then I think we want to go in here with a small fast food joint, just because vibe-wise, I think that is very American to have that lawn right in front there. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big like accident that the brands are probably fitting to my region. Because yes, like all of these brands again that we've chosen here, I've chosen them for nostalgic reasons, right? Where I remember all of these brands from being in the US a lot, and I was in Arizona, right? So yes, they will most likely regionally fit fairly well to what we're doing here. See if I can manage to get all of these cleanly. Is that... Oh, why did I click off? I hate when that happens. Okay, again, round number 2. Hopefully this time I can manage not to mess up. Okay, nice, that's the entire thing. Now the question is where we bring these, and I think probably the best place is somewhere here. Here we have enough space to move these planters a tiny bit to the front. And and then still have enough space, and later on definitely we need to play some things through it. I'm more surprised that Jack in the Box is still alive, to be honest, because even when I think back as when I was like a small kid, Jack in the Box already felt like it belongs into a different time back then. Maybe they modernized quite heavily, but if they didn't, then really they probably are quite nostalgic by now. Okay, now the big question is what building we take here, because I am not sure at all what building we want. But I want one of those typical small, a bit like this, but I don't want the exact same, but a bit like a small fast food joint, like either of those two. So I guess we're gonna have a look at the proper builds. Also, I think when I've been reading my Discord today, a lot of people did not seem that excited for the skyscrapers, and I am not either, but here comes the kicker, and I think it's something that people forget about a bit. Don't forget about the ploppables, guys. Even if the skyscrapers themselves are all too big, are all too massive and gigantic for your city, that does not mean that the ploppables of those will not be great for you, right? Because especially with the skyscrapers, I think a lot of the ploppables work really well lowered into the ground, right? So if the skyscrapers look beautiful, then that does not mean you have to use them as a skyscraper. Thanks to the ploppables we will get eventually, it pretty much also means for us that we can turn it into whatever we want to. And I think, considering that, the skyscrapers get a lot more exciting than they otherwise would be, to me at least. Yeah, I'm not a big city builder, so for me, I mean, I'm happy about any variation we get, right? So don't misunderstand me, please. But yeah, I'm not super excited for it, to be honest. But then together with ploppables, I can be. And the theory of it actually sounds pretty cool. I also read what Revo said about his pack, where he said that he wants them to be non-functional unless you do something with it, and then they turn into something appropriate. So yeah, I also think that's very interesting. I think probably this is a building we go for, because we don't have so many different ones, and we use two very similar ones here already. So I don't want to use any of the same ones, which is these here, I believe. Is that the exact same one as well? But yeah, this is a bit more blocky. These are generally smaller, which everywhere else I would like, but here in the mall, I wholeheartedly don't mind the size. Now, the only question is which alignment is the correct one. And since we have a US American in chat, cons in the US, would this be, would the customer-facing side be pointing towards the road or towards the parking lot? I guess in something like this, actually probably towards the parking lot, right? Because we want people to park here and shop and then come eat something. So I would think this, really? Okay, actually that's very interesting. By feeling, I would have said the other direction is the right one. But I'm gonna trust our American consultant here. Yeah, sideways I don't have the space for, sadly, because it is very, what we're trying to do here is already very condensed. So I cannot get away with that, sadly. I mean, yeah, the logos, we could put any, like, I would probably, but I have to do something for that. Because I think I want to turn this into a Taco Bell. Because we have very pretty Taco Bell decals. But I want to build one of these as well. Where we have a nice arch on top. So I will have to have a look exactly what we want to turn this into. But I would probably give this not an arch, but one of those top signs that goes quite high. So you will see it regardless. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I really wanted this small. Because I think the look from here is so goddamn... Like for me, this just screams US. Like everything about this. With a strip mall and you have all of the fast food joints in the background. Like really, this just, to me, could not be any more America than what we're building here. Again, that is through the lens of somebody who has not much clue about the US and a very European view on it, so take everything here with a grain of salt. But I like it. For our parody build, this is very solid. Yeah, I mean, the gun range is something, Jay, I have not forgotten about it. I do definitely want to keep building the gun range, but it's more... I'm not sure if you were there already when I started saying that. Because we were not in Los Vagos for so long, I kind of forgot a bit what we were working on. And we were in the middle of the process of building out this entire area. So I did not want to abandon this in the middle of the build, but we will definitely go back and return to the gun range. Like it's one of the next things I want to build. Though I think I asked this on my last stream, but I'm still curious about opinions. How boring do you guys find it when I do map making stuff? Because I've been doing quite a lot of progress with my map. And I think we did so much progress that it's probably interesting again for you guys to get a bit of an update on it. Unless you guys say I find it horribly boring to watch any map related stuff, then I can totally do that off stream. But I'm curious how the feelings are regarding that topic. Because for me it's actually quite helpful to show you guys what I'm doing and then get some feedback and input by people that are a bit less mentally limited than me. And of course, is my entire stream not a single compilation of me making excuses? So, why are you surprised, Jay? Of course. Well, okay, but I just need to know const, which is a correct way. But then, to be honest, I quite like this, because here you have the traffic drive past right here, and then we have a bit of space here for like maybe 2-3 outdoor chairs. Not much of it, mainly people gonna sit inside, but I don't hate it. And now the interesting question comes. I think this building is barely recolorable. Yeah, it's just the wood, which the wood is actually not bad. Oh, this is recolorable. Okay, that is good to know. And even this is recolorable. The building is a lot more recolorable than I recalled it to be. Which, obviously, we're not gonna complain about. Did they, while I looked at the announcement, did they already put dates out for the content creator packs? Because if so, I missed them, but especially the industry ones looks really excited. December 3, that is not very long. I like the sound of that. I actually very much like the sound of that. Oh, yeah, see, here I did not think this through. purple logo on purple background. Obviously, it's not great. And even for these, it's a bit dark. We have these white ones. Do we have this without the background? Sad. I think probably I'm gonna adjust these or just get some fresh ones by myself. I want this to be a Taco Bell because I love Taco Bell, but I want to go on the purple here, so I probably want white typography instead. If that is something we can do, I would also have to have a look at actual Taco Bell places and how they look. But I think we're gonna leave this blank for now, because I want to work mostly with decals for this, but I definitely want a high sign that we don't have yet. And again, I also definitely want these to be neon just to match this. So we need right everywhere anyway, so no real point in going through it without so far. And what map did you decide on in the end? Cons, because maybe you said so, but the last thing I seen was you saying that it's decided and it's gonna be Marble Mountain. But then I guess that is a thing of the past already. And what I want to do here, maybe this is a bit over the top, but then do we care if something is over the top in Los Vagos? We don't really. I did not see the floating dog, but there is so many floating dogs in the city, I'm not surprised about it at all. But yeah, I did not catch this one. For some reason, I have more, even though I have no crime. I have a few places where I have pathfinding issues with crime, and they struggle reaching it. Even though I have police stations quite close, I need to recheck that. The water for me is so... Oh, actually, you talking about it, that's something we still have to do. Maybe that's actually something I'm gonna do with you guys on stream today, yeah? Because we have not changed the water yet. I tried around with changing the water, and it works fairly well. The one thing we have to do, it works well for all of our sources we have in the map. The river is perfectly fine, at least when I tried around with it. But we will have to delete all of our custom water sources in the city. So this lake and the canyon here and these two storages, I think it's like 6 only, with very little water here. So not the biggest issue. And then we have to replace those, but I think that the sources that come with the map all work perfectly fine. But yeah, that seems to be very different on a map-to-map basis, if that is easy to do or not. But before we jump away already, I want to try something here. And maybe if Algendo is here, he can actually give me a hint where I have to look. In what category is your upgrass? Because your upgrass has decals as well, right? I think I added your upgrass. Oh, here, I found it. I want to see if we think this is too colorful. Okay, the M1 is a little too small. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, it does give a bit of overlap. Does not matter, then we use a small one and we stamp it multiple times. But I would like to turn all of this up here into a roof terrace. Which, again, probably is a bit overboard and unrealistic, but is Los Vagos, do we care about that? Not really. I think it's a very cute detail to turn this into a roof terrace, maybe even with some kind of pool or something on top. Now comes one interesting question, and it is how well do they blend without showing overlap? The answer is not great if I align it as shitty as I just did. So I guess... how do we do this the best? Maybe we have to take this one and then align it. Can we use... Yeah, these are the actual tiles. Sad, the sizes are a bit not great for us, but I guess what we can do is this with line tool. And then just get them next to each other as good as we can. To blend, use the rounded ones. I'm gonna try what I think is probably the best solution we have here. And we're gonna try figure that together. Is he not? He's going on the floor if I do that with line tool. That is a bit annoying. Okay, then we do this by hand instead. Then this is gonna be a bit more painful, but we have standards here. Let's just see if we line these up as clean as we can. Will this fit? Kinda. And then okay, then we cannot blend these super smooth. I will just place these kind of dirty by now, just to see. And now Elgendo says use these two. Okay, actually that works pretty well. That actually works pretty goddamn well. Why did you said ugly mod? Take it back. Don't insult Elgendo in my chat. He's a cutie. But yeah, then we can be lazy and actually use the big ones, because the blending indeed works pretty well with the round ones. So I'm just gonna really dirty and quickly stamp over all of this, and then we try to blend this in a moment with the round ones. What do you mean will not blend? Does not have to be perfect, like wholeheartedly, with the, like, yes, this looks really bad right now. But look at this, Elgano, like, actually, yes, it's still obviously not like perfect, but this is absolutely fine for me. I think these actually, I'm surprised how well these work for blending. I would have not expected that, and obviously as well it's not gonna stay, whoops, here I forgot that little bit in the corner, but it's also not gonna stay as pure as it is right now, right? We're definitely gonna turn this, we're gonna put stuff on here, have decoration, so it's not gonna look as extreme anymore. Do I have Discord open? I can check real quick. Is it something? Yeah, between, I guess so. I'm not, again though, half of the fun of using your and Gaga's mods is that I know I use all of them wrong. And you guys are looking at this and gonna be like, oh my god, what is this idiot doing to my poor mod? And that's what you get for making such cute mods, Elgando. He's gonna give you pain, and yeah, you're gonna look at my build and be like, this is not how I wanted him to use it. What are you gonna do though? You released your mod, I'm gonna use it however I wanna use it, and you can't stop me. Now the big question is, where do we find, and if it's small enough, the weird, hold on, we can filter for this. Can we fit this up? Yes, I think we can fit this up here. Maybe it's a tad too big already, but we could even put one side of it into the wall. Let's see together if we can get this to look okay, or if this is a bad idea. Probably is a bad idea, because it's my idea. So most likely this is not great, but let's see. I use all of your mods, what do you mean? I have to admit I did not replace with your new mods, Gaga, but then you also know why. For me that's a bit more difficult than for everybody else. Please. Please. Okay, hold on. If I just go back, should he not? Sir. Okay. Now we're not gonna let go of this. Okay, I guess we're just gonna use transform tool instead. This is too annoying. But you know, I have so many of your stuff local that I don't really need your mods, and then second, since I have so much of it local, it is quite a lot of work for me to quickly replace them. I definitely need to do this because I still have some of your decals that you already adjusted that are not optimal in my build, but you have an optimal version of. So I will definitely have to do it, but yeah, I did not get to it yet either. One already is too much, holy shit. Yeah, see, the one problem I have with the version you sent me, and it's nothing big, and it's also a bit misleading because we right now have a wrong theme. But these two surfaces here, and it's a bit hard probably for you to realize which ones. These were very light, at least in a certain version of your mod. These were very subtle and barely noticeable. And then with the version that I have right now, they are very dark. And I think you said that you already adjusted that and even sent me a new version of it. Is the same as here. This also has been very light, or is the same as here. All of these were very subtle, right? Were very close to the actual ground. And I have a version where they were pretty dark. I'm fairly sure you changed this, because you said you changed this. But then since I did not play Los Vagos for like the last month or something, I've been slacking a bit on updating my mods and keeping everything up to date. So what do you mean? Why? Is that a new bug? Is there a reason I checked for that? Because I never had issues with that in the past. I did not mean to turn this. This is what we want to adjust, and I think we want to adjust it back into this corner. And I'm not 100% sold on this pool yet. I don't hate it, I don't love it either though. What if we can, maybe we can get this somewhere in the corner, a bit like an infinity pool. I generally like this quite a bit. What I don't like is how little space it leaves, but then it's a roof terrace. It's not like you really need a lot of space either. Where's the best position for it though? Actually, probably this, because I'm not sure, but maybe if we give this a roof terrace as well, maybe we want to have some kind of bridge over here where people can actually change. I can check, like, if you want to know the name of these surfaces, we can check that right here together. Picker enabled surface. This is pine needles. It's both pine needles in this case. And then I don't think it's only, this is probably also pine needles. Let's have a look at the other ones. Maybe all of these are pine needles as well. Yeah, now here's a problem with, so yeah, it's all the pine needles. And I think they were very subtle. This is soil actually, one of the soils as well. This also is one of the ones that, but yeah, mainly the pine needles, Gaga. And what is this? Because this is the last one. This is a river bat. I know that I showed you this, but it's been like prior to bridges and ports, so all of this is quite a while ago, and back then you said it is a bit of a problem where you did something, but the new version already should have this fixed. So I guess maybe this is already fixed. I'm uncertain, to be honest. Thank you so much, James. That is very cute of you. Not only are you eventually gonna fund me a new graphics card, you're also gonna fund a new penis rocket for Jeff. So win-win for everybody, I guess. And what I said, Gaga, is that I told you about this in the past, and you said it's already finished. Like, I think you said you already fixed these, and they should be fine in a newer version. I think I just did not update to the newest version. Cause all of this was prior to bridges and ports, and then the update came, and then I hated the game and didn't really play, so probably this is fixed already. I'm gonna try today after stream to replace and see if that fixes the issue. Do we hate this pool or do we not hate this pool? I'm a bit unsure if I like it the way I have this right now. Maybe it's actually more correct to have it somewhere in the middle instead of what we have right now. What instead is if we do something like, oops. Maybe it's a tad too big as well. Maybe we have to build our own pool. Because I think, position-wise, I would very much like something like this. But then this is so little space on the sides that I think this is a bit too crowded. If this would be the middle ground, that would be perfect. If we want to use this one, I think we have to do what I just did. I mean, yes. I'm also surprised. I also thought I would not find any use for the up grass surfaces, but I also think the grass looks very pretty in those, so I very much agree with you, Friedrich. Well, that's also what she said, Elgendo, so get your own medicine. It is, I think the answer, sadly, is this is too big. As much as I would like this to be the correct fit for us, I sadly don't think it is. Which causes us quite a bit more work, but whatever. See, the reason why I'd like to use that one so much is that it has the actual smooth water in it. And as much as I like Elgendo's water surfaces and think they are amazing, Elgendo, these look cuter. Obviously not your fault, because you cannot adjust your water surfaces like this. But I think for that reason, maybe, yeah, fuck it. We're gonna make this work somehow, even though I guess we shouldn't. But yeah, I do want this pool, even though it is not optimal. I just love the way the water looks. And we're just gonna put it somewhere in a position where we can properly get away with it, which I guess is somewhere a lot further back here and then moved half into the wall, or into the wall, so we have more space. In this corner? Which corner? Yeah, I guess this is where it's the most appropriate. Somewhere here. And then I actually am not sure if the corner is the best. By my feeling, would say actually it should be in the middle here, but then moved into the side a bit, so we lose that one border. We can just lower it a bit so we can get away with the border without poking through. Something like this. I don't think it's too bad, because then we have space to put nice hang around places around here. And we have enough space to maybe, but probably that's overkill. Do you guys think it's overkill, before I continue with my thought, to build a little walkway from this roof terrace to that roof terrace? Which other corner? Sorry, I know it's frustrating, but it's so hard to understand on stream when you move your camera around and do things, then to understand what exactly the messages are relating to. This side. The reason I prefer this side is that if, and that's why I'm asking the question with the walkway, if we want to build a walkway here, I think it gets too crowded, right? Then I need this side to be a bit more open, because we need space to have the walkway here and a kind of staircase around it. That's why we have to decide if we want to walk away or not. Because if we want to walk away, this side is taken. The walk away? What do you mean? Through the pool? And thanks a lot for the follow. That's very nice of you, Clomi. Did I catch that name correctly? I hope I didn't butcher it too much. Gloomy, I guess. I hope I pronounced that the correct way. Okay, before the decision should be working the other way around. Before we decide on the final position of the pool, I guess, we should... Yeah, we need to figure first what the walkway itself would consist of. Because that is the... That gives so much of the style for us that I think it's the first thing we should figure. And what I generally think about when I think about something like that is a lazy solution, and it's this one. I'm not a big fan... Well, this mesh has one problem. And the problem of this mesh is not very noticeable if it's in the floor, but if we raise it, you guys see it has these weird bottom parts that don't look so bad if we have it here, somewhere up, but then in the air they will look a bit silly, so we would probably have to put something below it as well. Which maybe, just to try around, if we do something like this and then we take a second one of these. Hold on, where I'm actually gonna use transform tool for this. Bear with me, a lot of this is a bit of trial and error just to figure out what exactly we wanna do here. What happens if we now just... Oh, hold on, wrong axis. Flip this like it, and then move it. There it gets a bit of a double layer below, which honestly we don't need it, but I think it still looks less weird than having those just poke out. Maybe we can also find a better asset or alternative, but then I do really like this asset. I think it's a very nice asset for a walkway like this. Do we think this looks too silly, or do we think... I mean, thinking about it, it needs something to be tough as well, right? Like, you don't want people to break through this or fall. So the more I think about it, this could just be some second layer to strengthen the construction. I actually think I don't hate this. Now again, just since I know we will get the... Oh, this is gonna be so finicky. Actually, that's a pretty good idea to use the pontons as well. Yeah, you do make a point that actually, because I really like the top of this with the railings, but then I just hate the bottom. I don't like this lower part. So maybe even the docks. Can we? Do I find a ponton if I just type it? I have had so little look at the bridges and port stuff that I have not really. I hate the out. Yeah. How does this look if we raise it? Sir? No, it has a floating J. I know you asked about this already, and I would have asked the same question that you asked TDW. Because I agree, but yeah, till TDW gives us unfloating versions of all of these. This sadly... I guess it's pretty good if you wanna have an adventure. This seems great for like an adventure park or something. But otherwise, I'm not sure this is what we need. Oh god, what kind of asset is this? How do I even delete this? Sir? What are you? Okay, we're just gonna take these and move these somewhere where nothing is, so we can delete when we have everything selected. But that was weird. Are these built? They have very weird, cause they are floating, I guess. Oh, it's just the position is so weird. But yeah, that was strange. I think what could be a good alternative for us maybe is the docks. Is that not the right call for us? Maybe something like this. And do we have an even that is a narrow one already? Yeah, I guess that is a narrow one already. Maybe even some of these. I'm happy and open for any ideas for this. I don't exactly know what we're looking for. And since we played so little, I actually gotten worse at what assets we have available. So I'm even happier about any hints that I can get. But maybe this is better, but it's so wide already. This one is a tad too big for what I'd like to. Visually, otherwise I don't hate it, but it's so wide. I would like this to be half as wide. This one is just as wide, right? Sad. Because otherwise, this is very close to being what we want. This in a bit smaller. I guess we could build it by ourselves, but then I'm kind of lazy and was hoping that we can find something that we can use instead. What if we use some of the piers from J or Dome? Any of these? This one is not correct. This is the heads only. One of these small ones of these. I never know which is which, but you have some very small. Yeah, this same issue, it has so much in the bottom, but you have one. Which one is it? The old one, I think. This one. Oh, it also has something in the bottom, actually. Damn it. Something like this would be optimal, actually, but yeah, we always have something in the bottom. I guess we will have to build something ourselves. What we could do is just use this and put a railing. I think this is the laziest solution we have. I think this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take these and then build our own railings and stairs. Is more manual work than I was hoping we have to do, but is that not always the case in Los Vagos? Now the question is, can we overlap them without getting Z fighting? Because if so, this is optimal. If not, it isn't. And is this a double-sided mesh? Why does this game have so many one-sided meshes? I just hate it. I wholeheartedly hate these one-sided meshes. I mean, it's fine, we can rotate it and just build it from both sides, but annoying. Wholeheartedly annoying. I don't understand in what world Colossal Order decided it makes sense to have this much meshes in the game that only work from one side. Wholeheartedly, I don't get it. But yes, I think this is pretty optimal for what I want. Does not exactly scream safety to me, but we can build some kind of strengthening foundation under it. Did you? Well, the issue is I don't have them yet, and reloading my game while I'm on stream, cause like... Do you think I have them already? Maybe I have them. Double. Please, that would be so big. But I might not have them yet. Because I did not really add anything. I have them. Just to make sure. God damn it. Again, I said it at the start of the session, my mouse wheel is a bit broken, so I struggled severely with camera control today. Because I always pan in my mouse wheel, and that now is a bit buggy, so bear with me when we move around the camera. I will struggle at times, but yes, thank you, Jay. That is amazing, because I already was thinking about how annoyed I am having to double up all of these, and I don't have to, thanks to you already having done so in the editor. Very much appreciated. I did not know I have these, because yeah, great asset, wholeheartedly, absolutely great asset, and we're just gonna take these, and copy, and take this, and paste, and now we just move it this way. The rotation is definitely off. What is a bit, yeah, I was fearing, but it's not a problem. We can just move one of them very, very slightly. Now we don't have any Z fighting anymore. It actually is noticeable. Hold on, the issue is a different one. Our rotation is not correct, and this rotation is better. So we're gonna fix that up. That does look pretty flawless, actually. I think we can live with this, because we have no more Z fighting. And this works quite well. And the railings we can literally just do with normal net lanes. And then we need to find a staircase on each side, and that works. Yeah, Clooney. First, welcome in. Also, if you want to have a city tour or something, if it's your first time in here and you want to get shown around, or you have any questions or anything, gladly hit me. I'm a very slow builder. We've been taking a long time to build this. I'm sure you can tell already from watching me, but in general, I think it pays off to put that effort in. But yeah, it also means we make fairly little progress on here. What railings would we like? I actually really think these are pretty railings for something like this. I think we're gonna take these. And we're just gonna put 2 of them. We will have to adjust this anyways, but just to get a rough cut of this, we're gonna take all of these and move them up and move them over here again. We can adjust all of this now over here. But I actually think these look very nice together with a railing. What is weird is that, well, I guess the ground we had there was not 100% flat, but it is a bit strange that they are higher in the left side than in the right side. That actually sucks, because I cannot adjust it so lightly. It's fine, we'll just move all of it a little down then, and move it to the side so it doesn't show through. This actually pretty optimal, I guess. So then we take this side and move it perfectly to the corner. You guys want to know something that actually I think probably people will make fun of me if I say this. I did not know that the control key in Move It gives you some kind of precision mode. I was often watching other people play the game and was wondering how they managed to move stuff this accurately in a small area. I never understood how that's possible. To me that seemed like crazy black magic. Now, after playing the game for over a year or something, I found out about that very basic feature that probably everybody outside of me has been knowing about for the last year or something. I had no clue that's a thing, and I love it. That works already, no? I think that actually works. The placement of this is horrible.
Oh, that's
and the
cute.
angle of this is horrible. So, not saying we did great work here. In fact, we definitely have to correct this. Why, sir, why are you chosen? Why is this still showing it's... I don't want to move that. Let's hope we don't move that. Oh, can we not move those together? I guess we can't. We'll slightly move these first. Hold on, I need to look from the top to get the angle right. That looks better. This is roughly 90 degrees, maybe not perfect, but perfect enough for us, I guess. Oh, the heck, why did we not get... Because we selected that thing below us instead of this corner. Okay, there we go. Now we should be able to move this. The angle is still not perfect. This looks nearly optimal. I mean, stop it. Don't deselect. Give it back. I hate working when you have so many objects on top of each other. It just gets really finicky. But yeah, good enough. I think now this actually is perfectly fine. Now the very last thing we need, but I think we can probably just use some of J's for this, is go in here and find stairs. My stairs are not the right ones. None of the ones from Fragen are what we want. We probably want this normal, my go-to staircase. I hope the width roughly aligns. Doesn't have to be perfect, but at least... Oh! It nearly is perfect. Okay, I like this a lot. Look, even the railings fit into each other. Gonna have to adjust that very slightly, but wholeheartedly. That is nearly perfect. Obviously, we want to adjust the colors a bit as well. But I think this is totally gonna work, and we can make some word kind of wellness complex on top of here. I've never been perfect, never will be, but look at this, Sunny. I think this kinda works. At least it's a lot better than what I initially thought we're gonna work with. Now comes the question, can we just steal a color here? We can't recolor this, so we need to match this. And welcome in, Sunny. How is you doing today? See, I've always had issue with this, but the white actually is fitting. So this, whoops, alarm. This is the white. We're literally gonna put this entirely white like the other one. Maybe we're just gonna go all white, but I guess the railing can't be all white. I don't mind. This already looks pretty fitting together. Again, the position is not optimal, but yeah, I think the color of this is nice enough. So let's go and take it over there. I mean, don't you worry about it. Banter is very welcome in this channel, so you're very welcome to bully me. In fact, bullying is my love language. So if you attend a bit more regularly, I'm not because I don't like you, but quite the opposite. Because I like you, I will most likely bully you back. And if you enjoy your time and you're into cities or you want to share any of your builds, gladly join my Discord as well. I don't stream very regularly, but I'm fairly active on Discord, sharing my progress and discuss with cuties like Gaga or Sunny or Jay about the game. And I feel less like a streamer than a Discord member that streams sometimes, to be honest. I also wouldn't mind cider, in fact. So I would sign up and line up with Gaga. Some of the cider, please, Sunny. But I think this works perfectly fine. I'm actually quite happy. So obviously, some of the things we still need is first things first is we need a roof entrance. And probably not one, but probably we want two of them. What the heck is this? That is not the kind of roof entrance we want. Roof access? How is it called? Yeah, roof access actually. And we want a proper one. I guess this one is too big already. Ah, yeah, nice actually. Glad you like that. You mean this? The heck? Holy shit! Los Vagos is bigger than I thought. You mean this, right? Yeah, this has been a build that's been a long time in the making because I really hated the bridges and ports. Not the DLC, I always have to clarify. So the DLC was great, but I hated the patch for older saves. The shopping bug was devastating. So I have not played the entire time after bridges and ports till we've gotten the most recent biking patch. And since I think the game is amazing and very fun again. But yeah, during the Bridges and Port patch, I did not enjoy the game in the slightest. And let's go back, because after we connected it, obviously we want both sides to be covered up. So we're gonna take another of these ones from Elgando. And I have to say, Elgando, this mod turned out amazing. Really cute, even for a place as dry as Los Vagos. these are great, cause since they're decals, we can use them elevated as well, which usually we can't, so big fan. I mean, I also love Nicholas, that's why he's gotten on top of there, so I can very much relate to that. We don't even have to plant here. I guess we should anyways, but... Again, he was probably vomiting because he wants me to use the small circles and then stamp them over the cuts very cleanly, and probably that would get a better look than what I have here. But then again, what are you gonna do about me using the mod like I do? You can't. So you can't stop me. I just keep doing it how I think is nice. And I'm gonna hold on real quick. I wanna remove this song from the playlist because it plays all the time. And it has such a long interlude that you guys always have to listen to them screaming at us, which not optimal. Okay, and now, since we turned this into a proper wellness spot, I guess this is the roof access we want on both sides. This is a bit too, yeah, this is too small and unluxurious. This is the right one, and I guess it's actually most fitting to be somewhere in the corner, like this. And we do the same here, probably recolor both of them. Actually, it has a window to the back. Maybe the corner is actually not correct. Maybe something like this is better, where it's close to the staircase here on both sides. So if you come up and you want to go to the other side, you don't have it that far. I actually think this is better. And then let's see how we can recolor those, because I'm not a fan of the gray. Can we take this, or is this gonna be too extreme? It's a bit too extreme, but we can get this to work. Trying to have this angle so we can see both at the same time. That looks fairly appropriate, and this is the roof, right? Yeah, and the roof we also want to align, not really, but a bit at least with our surface. Something like this might correct this a bit more, but I think roughly something like this. Well, I mean, what Elgeno can actually do now, if he does not want me to use his mod anymore, he could private his mod and then just share it with people who he wants them to use his mod. But the issue is I already have the mod, so I could just download it real quick. But yeah, this could turn into a full-fledged battle. I think Elgenu is kinda AFK today, so I can say whatever I want. Clearly I would win that battle. The Gaucho has no chance. You mean too thin as in the bottom? Because I agree, we need something that gives this some stability. I think it looks pretty, but yes, we definitely need something to make this stronger. I am very much with you in that. If that is what you mean, Friedrich. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the question is what we can use well for that, because I agree with you. I think we would need some structure below here to make this a bit stronger. The question is what we can use for that. Because what would... Actually, maybe we can get away with that. Maybe we can get away with a tram power pull, because we can morph it into the building on each side. Like we can just take the bottom and put it into the building. Let me, again, don't judge yet. Let me cook for a moment. You can judge in a very little and then tell me that this is a shit idea and I should do it different. But before you do so, at least let me try. Something like this, where we just get these big pillars on both sides under the railing, and then we can just hide the side in the building here to not have any issues with it. So we move it this way till it hides nicely in the wall. And now we move it to fit exactly under. Does this not actually make perfect sense? Because the alternative would be to actually have some kind of proper arch here, but I think that gets a bit too much, to be honest. But then if we had 4 of these under it as kind of structural support, I think this actually works quite well. And welcome in, Hen Gamer, and I guess welcome out right away already. It is late, so I understand, but thanks for tuning in and have a nice night and sweet dreams. Obviously, you're also welcome to stay, and my boring monotone voice will surely make you fall asleep soon and have a nice night. But if you have it urgent to get to bed, of course, we understand. Yeah, we could also angle this, of course. That's the question. I actually think it looks very nice being right below. But yes, what we could alternatively do, and now we have to find a right one, we could also do something like this, I guess, where we angle it a bit and then probably move it deeper into the building and only go further to the side. Oh, an additional one. Actually, I do see your vision as well. Let's see. I'm gonna decorate this up with all of these, how I think this would be appropriate, and then afterwards we can see what we do. One thing I want to definitely do is twist this around by 180 degrees with, I think, not this one, this one. So we get this to the top instead. That looks a lot better already. There, we're gonna put it where it belongs, like this, and then everything else we can decide afterwards. I do think probably, at least in my personal taste, this already would be enough. The question is if we can manage to hide this part a bit nicer. Not really, because we do need it to fully be angled on, or fully on the bottom. Let's be very accurate here. This is where it had to be, and then yeah, this one shows a little, but wholeheartedly, I don't mind it much. Yeah, no, we can absolutely live with that. So we're gonna take this. Oh no! I'm so silly. I wanted to copy the rotation, not do what I did instead, and paste it. So back to where we were. Okay, now this time we're trying to not misclick and do it correctly. Put this in here. Now we take this and put it here, and now we just have to move it across to be in the correct position. I should have definitely raised this. Actually, I mocked up the rotation. This was way better prior. Look at how bad this is now. We will have to correct this slightly, because this is not clean enough. Which is a correct one? This. That looks a lot better already. So we're gonna go in and copy this. And paste this, and now we're gonna align it. That should be better. And this already is too far, so we move it a bit more subtle. Something like this. And now obviously we have to redo the same thing from the other side. And I see your vision, Friedrich, but I think we actually probably don't need it. I think just looking at it like this, it looks very durable already. Or am I tripping? And bye-bye, Elgendo. Get home well, I assume. Looking at the clock, you're done with work now, so time to walk home for 5 minutes, and maybe you're gonna be back already. Or maybe you have a busy evening, who knows, but get home well regardless. And then we definitely wanna twist those. The question is, as always, which is a right axis? I guess this is a right axis. Sir, I wanna take this piece. There we go, and now we're gonna just align one of them and then copy to the second and move it around. Or probably we'd even do ourselves a favor, just taking this to be 100% accurate and then move it from there. Just raise this and then we bounce it over here, align it nicely, and then we just have to copy it. I don't think I want to angle. We can try. I'm not against trying anything, but I do think I like the way this looks already. I wholeheartedly don't feel like the angle is needed. Maybe it makes it even prettier, so I'm not against it, but I'm not fully convinced yet. Because, I mean, this is massive steel beams, right? Like, this definitely is durable enough to hold this. Like, it's not like cars are going over there. It's only people. Yes, I know Americans are heavy people, so it should be strong. But does it have to be that strong? Do we have somebody who is a structural engineer in chat? I said nothing, Cons. You wanna hear the truth? I'm kind of fat, so if I'm fat shaming, I'm shaming myself. So don't be offended. Maybe I'm an American. Maybe that's why I'm fat. Why do we have this gap here and not on the other side? Or do we have it on the other side as well? But I don't like this gap. But yes, you heard nothing, Cons. I would never... you know, having watched me in the past, obviously I have never and will never make fun of Americans. That's absolutely not something we do on a regular basis in this channel. I have to admit, I know that Taco Bell is not good food. Neither is it Mexican food. I love Taco Bell. For me, it's one of the... Whenever I'm in the States, one of my first go-to addresses is that I want to go to Taco Bell. I know it's not good food. I know it's not Mexican food. I love it. It's so tasty to me. I don't know. I have a lot of nostalgia. My dad used to love to go to me with Taco Bell while we were living in the US. So, but I admittedly am a giant Taco Bell fan. So I can get behind that. I have never been, so I cannot comment. But I have to admit, the burger you posted looked very tasty. In general, I'm a big fan of burgers and get very weak for them. So with burgers, you probably can always tempt me. Yeah, the question is how we make this the most comfortable. I think we can actually, because this is a grassy surface, we can actually go in here and make this nice and planty as well. Yeah, I cannot, sadly, I've never been, so I can't say anything to that. I believe you, it looked very tasty, what Sunny posted. But then, I've never been, so I don't know. I don't understand why it doesn't let me enter 0.1. I mean, it doesn't matter, we can scroll to it. But I wanna, you guys see this end here. We have some word angle where we show that slightly. That's not what we want. Also, you have to, Sunny, I actually wanted to ask you about it, but I don't want to make you say any work things you don't want to. But I actually was a bit confused because you were in the US just twice back to back, right? Or am I tripping? Like you were in New York first, and then you were back home for a while, and then you went to Florida for work? Is that what happened? Because I was a tad confused. Probably what I just said is what is the case, and then it also makes sense. But just to make sure. So this is a whirlpool corner, or if you wanna whirl or be in a hot tub or something, then this is your side you wanna go to, and then this is the actual chill out, hang around lounge. We could even try. Maybe we can even use one of the J beach bars here. Yeah, okay, so then I did get that wrong. Are you allowed to talk about your work in that regard? Because you know I'm very interested in your work. So, are you allowed to spoil anything about it? And I want to have a real quick look. Don't be confused, we're going to be right back. I just need to refreshen my brain on how these look. Because I would kind of like a bar up there. Do I think any of these are perfect? Maybe this one is kind of optimal. We're gonna try. I think it's probably too big, and instead we should build something ourselves. But let's have a look. Maybe this works out, and then I wouldn't hate it. But yeah, I think it's probably too big. Maybe not, actually. Would this not be appropriate for I actually think it's very nice. This is probably a bit too much whirlpools, the more I look at it. Maybe... I'm thinking out loud here. Is it a nice idea if we move all of the bathing things over to this side? So we put some whirlpools here as well. And then this roof we make a kind of roof terrace bar. We can use this as a foundation and then work around it. It's not interesting. Well, I mean, but you did get to spend a bit of time outside of just work as well, no? Yeah, I think the more I think about it, I think it's a cute idea to turn this entire roof terrace into a roof bar. And then we turn this entire roof terrace to bathing. Probably we need a bit less of the tubs as well if we go to that side. But then we can turn this into an actual nice cute beach bar up here. Holy, so finicky to move anything here. Stop it, not building. Yeah. And especially, I'm not sure if that works with your employee, but I know that I don't travel much for work, but many of my friends who do, they often take the opportunity to add a few days of holidays. So when they're in the US, they can just say, I want to stay, I don't know, 5 days afterwards, take holidays, but the company still pays your flight back and you just have to pay for your stay. And if that's the case, then I think that's a great opportunity to take. The question is, does it look good to have this cornered like that? It's probably nicer to actually move this into the middle. Yeah, I think this is nicer. And then this side really builds itself. The only thing we need to do, can we pick them from here or will it pick the entire thing? We can't, but not a problem. We just type table and we place a very few of those. Is this the campground one or is this the... Looks like the campground one. Yeah, it is definitely the campground one. So then we place a very few of these. Maybe even one here. And then for the very rest, we go in and we take the barrel. Now we put some random ones here where people can stand around and drink. And it's gonna make sense once we place people. I have to move the bar very slightly to be more central. Something like this. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I love both of them as well. So you're hitting very open ears over here, saying that, Const. And if Jay is here, I have some harsh critic to this. I think this beach bar is absolutely beautiful. I love all of this. I don't like the vending machines or the ATMs. I think both of that is too shiny because it has that neon look. And I think this looks very romantic and pretty, like rural wood-like. And then the drink ATM makes it a lot more modern than it is in my head, at least. But if we do that, then we are actually done a lot quicker than I thought we would be, because really all I want now is have some wellness area here where people can whirl in. And maybe we can even manage, because I always hate this outside here. We can kinda hide that and just move it into the wall. And I should have had proper dinner before streaming. I don't have to wake up that early tomorrow, so I could stream a bit longer, but I can tell already I'm starting to get hungry. So we're gonna keep streaming a bit more, but I don't think I'll stream super long today. And I still need an answer of you guys. Do you guys, if I give you the alternative between Los Vagos and building map stuff, I know you guys generally would take Los Vagos, so I don't need to ask that question. But is it fine if every once in a while we do map stuff on stream as well as a switch up, or would you guys prefer just Los Vagos gameplay? Because I would like to also do some map stuff in the near future again. And with this, we might go in and delete all of this. I have no clue if what we're doing here is something we want to keep, so sit tight, bear with me. Maybe this looks horrible and we don't like it. Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever I do, it's boring anyway, so Gaga is making a good point there. It's not like anything we do on this channel ever has been interesting. So, yeah, fair point, noted, I understand. Is these too many whirlpools? I don't know. When I think about a proper wellness place, I feel like they have a lot of those, like 2 whirlpools, 2 hot tubs, something like that. Welcome, Geronimo. Nice to see you here, mate. How's your game been doing, Geronimo? Because I've been trying to help Geronimo. If I've been successful, I don't know. Maybe Geronimo can tell us, but he seemed to have issues with his game crashing a lot. And I tried to help him, and maybe we had success and you're not crashing as much anymore. Yeah, I would also put some planters. Pergolas I also don't hate. Though, I mean, people go on a roof terrace to catch sun as well. I don't want to cover too much of this. Worse than before? How can that be? Maybe... can you post new logs in my Discord again from any of your recent crashes? So I can have a look again. I'm not an expert, but maybe some more knowledgeable person like Jay can also have a look at it. I'm not sure. Your logs look pretty good for me, to be honest. Like, I'm quite tempted to say, but I don't know, so I don't want to say anything wrong. But feeling-wise, I would say this probably is not an issue with your game, but with your system. But again, if you have any recent logs, gladly throw them in my Discord and I'll have a look at it and see if maybe there is something immediately noticeable. The last time your logs looked very good beside those weird... You have some weird errors that have something to do with obsolete entities, but I cannot exactly understand what that error is. Question is if we prefer pergolas, and I already scrolled over them. How did I manage that? or the parasols. I actually just, so we have one, I'm gonna place 2 of them here so we can pick them. One of the things I guess we should definitely also do, because this looks kind of fancy, so I guess we shouldn't just have those seating corners, but also, oh, maybe actually we should have put that. Yeah, I'm an idiot. This side deserves that. Also, the other can get one as well, but we're gonna go back to that side there and also put some sofas there. And I'm just not talking much because it is ad break and I want to know, but yeah, I'm sorry you're crashing so much. Really, like your settings and everything looked fine. And Geronimo, is it, do you only crash a lot in a specific save, or is it that in all saves you're playing you have those crash issues? Because it's so weird to me, because everybody seems like they have a very stable experience in the game since a long time now. And generally, if you crash a lot, then yeah, something is wrong. Can you try it? I know you probably want to play in that save, and it's not... I'm not saying just start a new city, but just to troubleshoot, can you play a new save maybe for half an hour or an hour? You don't even have to play, you can just load into a new save and let your game run. But just to see if maybe it has anything to do with that save. Because that already would help finding out what's going on, right? If you don't crash in any different save, but in your normal one you crash all the time, then it is something in your save. And again, the logs you sent, they have something weird in them that I've never seen before. It is something related to obsolete entities, but you deleted those with me and it seems to still be happening, so not sure why. Grill, probably we also want 1 or 2 over here. I'm just scrolling through to see what we're still missing, what we can put up here. I don't like these tables. We're gonna replace those tables and turn this side a lot more loungy and comfortable, a bit more hippie rooftop bar than it is right now. So we're gonna replace sofas and these hangers and yeet out those picnic tables. I think those picnic tables are kinda lame actually. And am I silly? Are the parasols, did they move the category? The parasols were always in residentials. They were right here. But I guess they are not, or not the parasols, but the pergolas. They have moved some things around. In which category are these now? They definitely are not where I expect them anymore. But I never like these pergolas too much. Yes, they bring something, and I guess people want shadow, but they are so bulky, they are so much. I don't disagree that they are fitting, but maybe just in a single corner. Like in this corner, yes, Jay is not wrong, these are a good fit, and this one are not as bulky, so I guess this one I can live with, but mainly I want to do it with the normal parasols. I think they are prettier generally than this. Yeah, Elgando also had a lot of crashes. It's very curious because really, like Elgando and Geronimo are the only 2 people after Const had his horrible nightmare experience with the game, which I'm I was suffering from the distance, just seeing cons and his issues. But that's the only person where I heard having troubles like that. Like, I don't know, my own game is so stable that it's hard to believe. In fact, talking about it, I always forget saving. I don't have autosave and my game is so stable. I have not saved today at all, and we're streaming for like 2.5 hours now. So I think that is enough statement about how goddamn stable my game is, that I'm not really ever worried about crashing and saving, because yeah, I don't crash. It's just how it is. And the one advice I can give you, though I'm not sure it's very helpful one for you, Geronimo, I've said this many times in the past. If you have issues crashing, just don't crash. It just stop crashing. Is the biggest advice I have if you have crash problems. I'm not saying that is great or helpful advice, but if you can follow it, then I think you have your solution. Like, I don't know, just stop crashing, and then you will have a lot more fun again. Yeah, I also don't trust autosave. I had a lot more crashes when I was still using autosave, and my game is like 5,000 times more stable since I don't use autosave. So I agree. I know most people always advise, yes, use autosave. That would definitely not be my advice. I would say turn autosave off if you don't absolutely need it cause you're crashing all the time. Then obviously use autosave, but if you don't, then I feel like what Gaga is saying, my game is a lot more stable without it than with it. Shouldn't we be able to find this exact same type of sofa? Is it? Yeah, it's this one. Nice. Actually, we'll just turn this into some nice round circle. Maybe we can even find a table that we can use as a couch table and kind of lower into the ground a bit. I keep doing this all the time, where I accidentally click something below on the floor and then move that instead. What do you mean, Veem? I cannot fully follow what you mean. Or you mean as it not giving that much variety? I have to be honest, I have never in my life played many different city builders. I never in my life played SimCity. I have 30 hours in CS1. I don't have much experience with city builders. I love cities too, but it's the first city builder I really play a lot. And I gladly take that hydrate. In fact, the next ad break, I really have to take a quick toilet break. I've not taken any. So, next ad break, I'm gonna send you guys on a road trip and take a quick break. But thanks, Sunny, appreciate it. Let's see if we can find a table. I think some of the commercial ones should work good for what I want. To use as a kind of couch table. This one should look pretty good. Obviously way too high. If we take this and lower it quite harshly, something like this. Now, can we even steal this color and make this kinda uniform? Somewhat. Honestly, I think it's very cute. Only need to put people, and then I think this side works great. So this side we're happy with the way it is, honestly. Just needs a bit of people and moving around. This side we are not yet happy with. I think we should actually do here what we did on the other side and take that same table and place it here and here as well. Well, I mean, you're always free to one of the reasons why all of you guys are getting so many points on my channel is something that sadly has never functioned. I think I explained this a few times in the past, but it has never taken off like I was hoping it would. There is one redeem on my channel that I was hoping I can make very popular because it's thematically very fitting to Los Vagos, and it's a district takeover. Because I know you guys can buy houses or businesses or roads, and all of that is permanent, right? That's why they are a bit more expensive, still relatively cheap. But I want you guys to also be involved and take part, so it's good that they are cheap. The one redeem that is incredibly cheap in my channel, and I was hoping get used a lot, is a district takeover, because they are not permanent, right? Just because this currently is owned by Clovis does not mean that you can steal this, Sunny. And my intention behind that district takeover was getting a bit of gang vibes into the channel, where you guys can throw the points at each other to steal each other's places in the city all the time. And I'm not saying I want you guys to be rivals in chat, but I was kind of hoping that I can get all of you guys to turn on each other and fight for districts and take over the city, exactly like what you are doing right now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, of course, Toxic, you know me well enough. 4 of them. You have to also choose which ones you want, Sunny. But yes, 4 of them, 5 of them. See, if J, 6 of them. Okay, I guess Sunny is taking over the entire city. 7. I'm gonna keep waiting till Sunny is over, and then you can choose. 8. How many points have you collected? Holy goddamn shit. 9. A 1 from Cons. Cons can steal 1 right back. 9. You can't take all of that. 10. Holy shit. I mean, this is exactly what I was hoping to happen. Holy shit, I actually am starting to lose track. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 9, 10, 11. Did I miscount? $11. Okay, I mean, you can just keep going the next time. See, Gaga already says he takes all of them back. And have a good night, Gaga. Do you have specific choices, or do you want me to randomly assign you some? Obviously, you can just call out whatever you want, or you can have me assign you some, whatever you prefer. Any of the old ones? With old ones, you mean the early built ones, or ones that are not taken yet? Because preferably, I would give you ones that are not taken for the start. because then we take all of them over, and I think you have so many that you need to steal. I'm gonna start here. You get the very best. This has not been taken is illegal anyways. This is the best district in my entire city, so is yours now. Okay, 11 it was in total if I didn't miscount, so you have 2 here. 3, 4, 5. This is a bit of a dead district yet, but if you buy it, then that makes it more attractive for me to detail it out. 6, and now we need to search if we still have untaken ones, or if you have to steal. This is untaken. 7, 8, 9, 10, and I think this is perfect, because now you have to steal one. And I'm not gonna assign that to you, because I want you guys to start fighting. I'm innocent, I have nothing to do with this. So you now need to name whatever district you wanna take over from somebody. I cannot do that choice for you. But yeah, you still get one more, so you will have to choose which one you're stealing. And then Cons can also steal one. Maybe Cons is gonna steal one right back. Any of Gaga's? Okay, I like what I hear. Okay, then let's see. I actually think Gaga got started with this early on, but I think Gaga got kicked out by Clovis entirely. I think, yeah, Gaga doesn't have any anymore. So you will have to steal from either Clovis, Michael, or Fashion. Because you cannot, Gaga has a lot of houses in the city, but yeah, houses are permanent and streets are permanent, so you cannot steal those back. But districts, you can always steal. Okay, that is actually, I think you will gonna have to fight for that. Because Clovis loves this radio station. When I tell Clovis that you stole his radio station, then yeah, I think he's gonna steal that back, is all I'm gonna say. But I like it. That's actually, I hope I can make this a bigger thing on the channel, because I think it's actually fun to see the city changing and getting taken over. Yeah, I mean, you cannot, I need to qualify or clarify, you can also rename the district. I generally like the district names and would like to keep them unless you have a great suggestion. I don't mind taking over great suggestions, but it is not a bad idea, honestly. And Cons, if you're still here, which I hope you are, you also redeemed one, so which is the one you wanna steal? That might be actually that the radio station was one of our earlier-ish builds. Not super early, we had quite a bit of Los Vagos already. But yeah, one of the earlier builds at least. And V, I think, for me, it's something very interesting, because the more I think about what a game would need to replace cities for me, Redneck Corner, am I blind here? Michael gets priced out. Michael has not been watching in so long, he deserves that. There you go, is yours now. But yeah, V, I think one of the things that I always realize when I think about any other game in the city building genre is I've never seen a game where you can detail like in cities And I'm not sure if that is due to me not knowing that much about city builders or that actually is a truth. But alone the ability we have modding in this game and adding our own content and making builds really unique through that, has that ever been a thing in a different city builder? Because I know people are excited for the metropolis city, metropolis, I don't even know how it's called anymore, but you guys know what I mean. I cannot imagine that there is any game coming out that can compete with cities, just because the community is so valuable for this game, and it is an old community, right? And even though many people are turned off a bit, I don't see any game getting me away from cities. And I'm not saying I wouldn't totally be willing to, because yeah, if there is a better game, I go play a better game. But it seems really hard to get something that can actually replace cities, right? Because while something like Transport, how's it even called? Transport Fever looks great. I've watched people play Transport Fever. It looks like a fun game, but it does not bring at all what I appreciate about cities so much. And unless a game is as central about modding as cities is, I think that's gonna be really hard to do, right? Because yeah, I know we don't have asset import yet in CS2, but even without the asset import, like even just all of the code mods and all of the changes and adjustment to the game that the community has been doing from that side, I don't know how any new game would compete with that. Because even if it has the possibility to do all of that, it takes a long time for people to understand modding in games and work themselves in and then actually make the things. And again, you would also have to have the possibility to detail as close up, and all of that is really difficult. Yeah, I mean, in general, I know that the community reception of the entire PDX Ice Flakes takeover has been fairly critical and mixed. I'm actually very hopeful. I understand a lot of this different than most of the community. In my mind, all of this is not a nail in the coffin, but more of a commitment of Paradox, where it's like, hey, this game is really important for us, it's not going as well as it should, and we are gonna try to take more control of it. And I feel sorry for Colossal Order that this is happening to them in this way, but I've never really bought into the narrative of Paradox pushing Colossal Order to release an unfinished game, right? Because this might be a harsh take, but they had over 3 years of delay when Paradox told them to release the game. I would like to have a boss who is understanding with me when I have a delay of over 3 years. And I find it very reasonable that eventually they are like, hey guys, by the way, this is a video game, we need to earn money with this. This is sadly not just a passion project that we want to give out to the community. So yeah, of course, eventually they have to release, even if the game is not entirely finished, but I cannot really fault the publisher for that. That sucks, but from my understanding, Colossal Order really has been a bit over ambitious here. And who knows, if Paradox would have not told them to release the game, maybe they would have still not been done with it, right? And yeah, sadly things cost money in the world, and eventually you run out of funds. And I'm not saying anybody here is a good side or the bad side. I'm sure there's been many things that's gone wrong on both sides, but again, I also understand this less as we fire Colossal Order and more as a we are taking more control of the management of Colossal Order and trying to have more direct input on the game. Maybe, but I don't. Again, all of what I'm saying is totally just speculation and me guessing. But I'm quite hopeful. Like, I think a lot of the signs we're seeing are good. For example, I had a very long conversation, or not very long, I should say. I had a short conversation with Konzi in my Discord, who apparently is the community ambassador currently, and who is trying to work on getting better communication in between the player base and the developers. And one of the things that I find very noticeable is that since Konzi has that role in the community, the forum seems to be not only a lot more active, but also a lot more seen by the developers. And they recently added a feature that I find amazing. And it's that they respond to bug reports and they mark if they seen it and they mark if they investigated it. They give some kind of feedback, right? And I think all of that are great signs, and I am honestly quite optimistic that the game is not gonna get any worse, especially because we're getting the editor. Like, who cares if we get a bit of downtime because they switch the developer? With the editor now, we can just make all of the cool content for the game. We don't really need them anymore. As long as they are, I mean, they still give us region packs or content creator packs, and we have the editor. So honestly, I'm quite hopeful. But why do you say? Because I get that they don't actively develop CS1 anymore, but you still, even though they are not involved, but you've still been getting some new content through content creator packs in CS1 as well, no? Because I wouldn't say that CS1 is that. Like, yes, not like they actively develop for it anymore, but as long as you're getting content, who cares? Because I also, please never get me wrong when I say something like I didn't play CS1 because I didn't like it. I love watching CS1. I think it's a very fun game to watch. Do I want to play CS1? I don't. I don't think it's my kind of game. But watching CS1, great. I love it. Always open for it. And I do quite regularly watch CS1, both streams as well as videos. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think any of that matters too much. And thanks a lot for the follow, that is very nice of you. And let me catch the name, Gaming Tara 9. I'm sure I butchered that name, but I tried. Also, I really need to take a break. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours and it's an ad break, so I'm gonna send you guys on a quick road trip and I'll be back in like 5 minutes. As always, I've seen the ad break too late, so it's starting a bit chaotic, but who cares? Okay, I'll be right back, cuties. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna drink something and run to the toilet, and I'm back with you, cuties. But thanks for the follow. Alright, I'm back already. What do you mean when you say you hope that the CS2 will have industry that are on the roads? I cannot follow. And I'm never sure, because I can't really compare, but as much as I think CS1 is generally a lighter game, I think with CS1 being heavily modded in many cases, it does actually run worse than CS2, because I think I'm always a very good example for this. My computer has been like 900 euros a few years ago, and I am streaming and playing the game fine. Do I have great FPS? Absolutely not. I think the game needs optimizations? Absolutely, but again, I run pretty fine on my shitty rig here, so I don't think it's as bad as some people paint it to be. Holy shit, you must have slipped and fallen on your keyboard. I can try to decipher that, but that's not gonna be super easy. I mean, I don't think, will they ever release more DLCs? Because I think the only thing you will still see for CS1 is content creator packs, where the dev is not really involved anymore. I don't think there's gonna be any other fresh content that is still coming to the game. Again, I can't say, I've never played SimCity, so I don't really have any comparison. One point that I found very interesting, but I don't know enough about CS1 to judge this appropriately. I was watching Riri, and I'm sure some of you guys know Riri, it's another CS2 streamer, and Riri was talking about how he thinks it's a silly decision for them to wanna turn the game into a console title. And I actually quite agree, but, and now comes a big kicker, I have no clue how successful the console in CS1 was. I know that there is many people who really care about CS2 on console, because I've seen like 1,000 comments asking about the status of the CS2 console version. I think it's a lot of work to rebuild a game like Cities on the console, and now comes the even bigger kicker. I don't know how well it is or was to play CS1 on a console. I hate these type of games on a console. I think it's not a great fit. I don't think it is fun to play a game like Cities on a console. And I think you're severely limiting yourself, because obviously everything you do for the PC version has to be something that at least to some regard also is either technically doable or from a gameplay loop doable for the player on the console as well. So unless they made a lot of money with the console version, which maybe they did, I don't know, that's why I can't properly judge this. But unless they made a lot of money with the console, I think it's a bad idea to focus so much on it. But then again, probably without knowing numbers, that comment is not worth very much, because I don't know, if 30% of their CS1 profit was on the console, then yeah, sadly that is reason enough for them to keep making a console version. I would be surprised if it's that much, but I simply don't know. This already is too crowded, I don't like it. These two are fine, and maybe here in front of these we can get a thing. Oh, can we actually do this? kinda. It's not perfect, but kinda. It's a bit cheaty, but I'd like to have a single tree up there at least, so I think we can get away with that. I mean, I basically play the game a lot as a city painter, but I think there is a very big distinct, or at least for me personally, I can't talk for Moose, of course, but if I look at me personally, I generally play the game like a city painter, but I still do care about proper underlying simulation, right? Like, just because I spend most of my time detailing and doing stuff very up close, that does not really mean that I don't care about the other parts of the game. Like, my city is very well balanced, and I do, especially off stream, spend time on optimizing my city as far as I can. Yes, I know I play with unlimited money, so it's not like I'm super heavy about the simulation, but then the reason is that I think the simulation is kind of bad, right? Like, if the simulation would be better in this game, I would totally be willing to play with money, but I think the way the game currently works is generally you make money if you have a lot of population, and if you want to build very slow and a small city, then you will not be profitable in this game, right? And I don't love that, so I decided not to play with money, but that absolutely does not mean that I don't care about the simulation, and I would assume even somebody like Moose probably would agree with me. Again, take this with a grain of salt, I'm speculating, as I always do. But I don't know, I think it matters. I also think a reason why many people play the game as a city painter is out of necessity, right? Not because they don't like the simulation part of the game, but because the simulation part of the game is so bad that they'd rather play the simulation, but not because they would not like the simulation part of the game. I've never played a city painter before. I played a lot of simulation games, so I would like better simulation for sure. Are you typing on your phone today, or are you drunk, V? I've never seen you type as chaotic as today. I can generally follow along most of it, but some of these messages are actually so cryptic that I struggle. But yes, I guess I understand the last one. And I agree, I don't even mind that the sims are so detailed. I don't care. I think all of the sims just look so silly in this game. There is not much two sides about it. I don't know why they decided the sims have to look this way. Every CS2 sim I have ever seen looks worse than any of the CS1 sims I ever seen. Though in all fairness, probably most of the CS1 sims I've seen are also most likely DLC or custom ones from the asset importer. What is really gone? I don't even know about that mod. What does that do? What does that help you with? Is this too wide already? Yeah, this is too wide already. Guess the short one might actually be the best one. we're gonna try with this one. What I want to do here is, I don't know how these are called in English, the point where you jump off into the pool from. If I would know how this is called, then I would say so, but I don't know. I mean, to some regard, I do understand, and this is something that's surely not popular with the player base, but from a developer standpoint, does make sense. Yes, user content obviously for them is nice, because if they know the community does part of the modding work, that means they need to invest less time for these kind of things and can focus heavier on development. Is that a bit of an asshole move? I would argue yes. Is that kind of understandable from a developer perspective? I would argue also yes. So I kind of get it. I understand that that is not popular, and I understand people would wish for it different. But can you really blame a developer if the community is willing to do a lot of work for you to kinda take advantage of that? I don't know. And the truth also is, if you look at a game like CS1, that does have advantage, right? Because you still, even though the game itself is not developed anymore and you're not getting new content anymore, since the modding community has the possibility to do content themselves, you can still get content releases for a game that's out of development and basically a dead game, which if modding would play less of a role, then you would lose that side, right? Not saying that is a good reason for Colossal Order to do it that way, but I think it puts things a bit into perspective. But yeah, I agree, like something like anarchy obviously should be default in the game and not something they build afterwards, but it is what it is, really. Have to live with what we've gotten. Did I have so much difference between them? I'm so confused. Why are they aligning so different here? Do I always clip on top of it? I guess I actually had that much difference. I cannot even believe it, but it does look like it. Is that the same? That actually is the same. What a horrible staircase I built here. Might want to recheck this, but for now, good enough. When have you played CS2 the last time, VM? Because I also think a lot of the harshest CS2 critics, and maybe that's just me as somebody who actually really enjoys CS2, but whenever I read Reddit, it's very obvious to me that a lot of the people who complain the loudest about CS2 on Reddit also have not had the game open in over half a year or something. And I'm not saying that exclusively the case, because yes, there is very reasonable and understandable issues with the game that desperately need fixing and improvement. But I do think while the progress has been very slow, the game really has been getting better in the last year. Sometimes there's been a patch where it's gotten a bit worse in the middle as well, but the general tendency is the game has been getting a lot better, runs a lot smoother, and is a lot more stable. So who knows? If we get the asset importer and then afterwards they actually do a lot of bug fixing, I think it's good. And I can tell you from the conversation I had with Konzi that they do plan on fixing a lot more bugs. Like, not only have they in the announcement said that please, it's important that you guys bug report everything to us. But Konzi himself said that they are planning on tackling quite a few of the like low-hanging fruit bugs that they collected over the recent 2 years. So that actually gives me hope, because I do think the game is great if they fix a lot more of the bugs and tackle some of the bigger topics. Then yeah, obviously, even if that changes, you can still argue, hey, it would be nice if more things would be base game and not a mod, but the game is really fun, to me at least. So it does not need a world of changes to actually be a really good game for me. Well, see, the problem is, and Geronimo, I know that's not an answer that makes you very happy, but you are one of the very few people having an issue with that currently. There has been other times where the game has been very unstable and many people have been crashing. But I can tell you from people in my chat that you're one of the few people with issues currently. And it's also not sure that that's a game problem, right? That could also be a problem of your system or something on your side. That's why I care about bugs so much, right? But that's not the thing. If they obviously don't want their game to crash, we would need to find out why your game is crashing, and then we would have to tell them, hey, there is this and this thing happening that on specific system makes the game crash, and then they can fix that, right? But while I do very different development, I don't do any game development. I have in my life built a lot of websites, and I can tell you as a web dev, nothing is more frustrating than a client coming to you and being like, hey, this does not work. And then you try it on 1,000 different systems and browsers, and no matter what you do, it works perfectly fine everywhere, right? What you need is as specific information as possible to be able to reproduce those problems, so then you can fix them. Because one thing is very obvious: no game developer wants to make a bad game, right? I'm not saying that they're making great games. In fact, there is a lot of not great things, but they want to. So if you can give them good information on how to do that, that is helpful, right? And it's part of why I want to have a look at your logs and try to understand why you're having issues. Because as harsh as it sounds, maybe your RAM is broken, right? And if your RAM is broken, then yeah, telling the game dev to say, hey, please fix crash to desktop, there is nothing for them to fix if the issue is on your side, right? And I'm not saying the issue is on your side, because I don't know. But since the game is so stable for most other people, I would assume it's more likely that the issue is on your side and on the game side at the moment. The good news is that Cities has a very friendly and nice and helpful community. If you're willing to share Skyflogs and properly give people opportunity to get the relevant info to why your game is crashing, then there is a lot of nice people in the community who will be willing to have a look at your logs and everything for you and figure out the issue together. So don't give up hope, even though it's frustrating at the moment. Just keep sharing logs, and if I can't help you, which is very likely, because I'm not an expert at this game at troubleshooting or anything either, you should probably make a post at the Cities Skylines modding Discord, the CSM Discord, and post your logs, describe everything that's happening, and then you need to have some patience because there's many people with problems that are there. So you will have to wait a bit till people actually have time to look at your stuff, but generally all of the issues will get fixed sooner or later. I used to have issues with this game in the past, and I've never been let down by the community not helping me out to get my game working proper and stable. And I think nowadays I'm probably one of the people with the most stable game in the community. So things can change, things can get better. Which I understand is still painful if you crash every time you play the game you wanna play. So I understand you being frustrated. Yes. See, like, Cons actually is a good example, because yeah, Cons had a very weird issue that even very experienced members of the community were very clueless about, and nobody could figure out what the problem was. In the end, it was a problem on Cons' side. A very untypical, very hard to find one that I probably would have had more trouble with or rage quit the game over. But yeah, it's fixed now, works again, was not a problem of the game itself, but was a Cons problem. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I also am frustrated when the game is shit. In fact, I was very frustrated after the Bridges and Ports DLC, because I hated the game at that time. Guys, what are we missing? I actually think this turned out really cute, and I think we are kinda done. What we could try is using the tiles, because I know Elgando also added some tiles for the urban surfaces, so we could try mark a bit of tiles and ways. Oh, and I guess we need pool ladders for the main pool at least, so people can get out properly. But otherwise, I think this turned out very lovely, no? This also answers my question that I asked earlier, where I asked you guys if you think we should turn this into condos or if we should turn this into a hotel. I guess with a roof terrace like that, condos are less realistic than this being a hotel. Or could you find something like this? Because city needs-wise, condos would be a lot more interesting for us than hotels. I mean, we can also pretend that it's a hotel, but make it into condos functionally. But could something like this be a condo in the US as well, even though it has a roof terrace this fancy? I mean, the one and very first thing I would recommend to you, Geronimo, is try to play a little in a new or different save than your own one and see if you still crash, right? Because if you don't crash in a different save, then yes, it's obvious that the issue is in your save, right? And don't worry, that does not mean you have to abandon your save. That's just to find out where the issue lies, and then generally, if there is something wrong with your save, 99% of the things that can be wrong with a save, unless it's corrupted, are fixable, right? So don't be scared that if you find out your save is actually crashing, that means you lose it. It's mainly just to find out for now where the problem is lying. Do we like the look of this? I actually think we like the look of this, even though I don't like that they do this in the urban promenade ones, because I think there it looks a bit silly. But here in our roof terrace, I actually think adding these tiles is quite cute. So I think one of the last few things we're doing is put down some passing. And yeah, also Geronimo, if you keep crashing, do gladly also share your logs with me, but I don't have the biggest confidence in my own troubleshooting. So most likely what you should do is open a thread in the Cities Skylines modding Discord and then describe your situation there, post your skyflogs, always post skyflogs, else nobody can help you. But then if you bring patience and you keep sharing skyflogs, then I'm sure people will try to help you out. Worst case, if nobody helps you out, I can ask nicely for you. Because really, 99% chance that it's a solvable issue. It is sometimes very tricky to find out where the issue is, right? Like what Cons just said. He had a very weird corrupted file inside of his Unity installation that led his EAA to crash when he imported things. That is something super rare to happen and was not easy to find out where the issue was caused by, but eventually it is solved now and you can play the game fine again. Though not gonna lie, Cons, your issue, I've never seen an issue as crazy as yours in City. I was wholeheartedly starting to lose hope for your situation, and again, in general, I think pretty much everything is able to get fixed. I think he reinstalled in the end. I think Cons actually very systematically troubleshot what he could, right? He was in a lucky situation where he had a lot of spare parts for his computer as well, so I could have not done the same amount of troubleshooting. But he exchanged his graphics card with an old one, for example, so it was obvious it wasn't his graphic card. He switched RAM, and I think in the end he reinstalled his Windows, and that reinstalled Unity, and then he got rid of his issues. But also, Cons is better to answer that question than me anyways. But yeah, I guess we have to wait till Geronimo's out of ads again. Alright, honestly, that looks very cute, unexpectedly cute. The one question is, if we do what we do pretty much everywhere and ruin this a little with sand, and probably that's what we're gonna do, even though that seems a bit counterproductive, spending this much time making it pretty and now making it less pretty. But it is Los Vagos after all. Stuff is sandy. Yeah, the one thing where I have to say I was thinking, oh my god, if I imagine to be in your situation, I would have a whole lot of different problems. Because I cannot just swap GPU. I don't have a second GPU. I cannot just swap RAM or like you were in such a good position because you have your old spare computer still, I guess, to troubleshoot and swap parts back and forth. That, yeah, somebody who does not have that luxury would be in a lot rougher position trying to troubleshoot your issue than you were. Are we missing anything? I wholeheartedly think the roof terrace is done. I did not expect us to build a roof terrace this entire day, to be honest. I didn't even think we would build a roof terrace at all. But then I guess as usual, we don't really know what we're doing and everything just happens on accident. But I think the result of this is actually very cute. It makes this pretty boring normal hotel slash condo turn into an actual cute Los Vagos build. The only thing, obviously, I wish we'd had people that we could sit down and not only were people standing around everywhere. But it is what it is. We don't have that. Have to work with what we have, I guess. I guess so. As much as I like Jay's asset, I don't love the music asset. I would love to build more music stuff in areas. I don't think we have good music assets. It's one of the things where I can't wait for the asset editor. Because yes, I would like to spice up the entirety of Los Vagos to be a bit more good vibe party and have like more jams going on around the city, but I think that's something I'm gonna wait for till we have the editor, because I don't love the boxes. I think they work very well for the build where Jay made them for, so not Jay's fault. They worked amazingly for concert props. I tried to use them for jams before and I don't love it. But thanks, appreciated that you like the build. One of the things, obviously, that in this channel can never be missing, and it's not gonna miss today, is bollards. And it's the first bollard time in a long time, to be honest. I really have been a letdown in regards of bollards. As much as I miss Michael watching all the time, Michael will probably be very disappointed with the lack of bollard placement in our builds lately. But here we go. Yeah, no worries, Urban. Have a good night. In fact, I'm probably gonna find somebody to raid out to very soon as well. But we're so close to actually finishing this side of the build that I wanna rush through. And Cons, maybe you have a good idea. I don't have much clue about motel slash hotel brands in the US. And I would like some known but kinda trashy motel. Have a wonderful good night, Urban, and thanks for tuning in as always. But yeah, I know some expensive brands, like the very known public big hotels that I could place. But if I want something very elegant, like I know in the US you have loads of those motels that are fairly cheap next to the highway, for example. I want something like that for here. We could also make some custom branding. Maybe I have a good idea for something we can just design ourselves real quick if I have time. But honestly, since the rest of this mall is made with real-life branding, which we don't use too much otherwise in this build. I wouldn't mind having a proper fitting real-life model as well. Something that is shabby is all I would care about. Like, I don't know, where you know that you don't feel comfortable lying down in that bed because you know there's been horrible things happening in the past. Yeah, please hit me. Especially interested, like, I also want a logo to look good, so I'll be critical, but yeah, please hit me ideas. It's something I know nothing about, sadly. I also can see that here we actually did not finish our curb work. I actually don't like seeing that because that's annoying work. But yeah, we have to fix up these corners in our curbs with curbstones as well. Here in front of the cars, there's a reason I don't put bollards, because we have the curb, right? I think actually in those parts that should be fine. We might go in and put the stoppers here, but they always park so close to the front that I think we can probably not afford that. But I think it's fine just having it to the proper road sides with the bollards. And yeah, I'll definitely have a look off stream at why the flooring here is so irregular terrain wise. Like, this really is a bit too chaotic for my liking. And cons, also another question, because I actually was wondering about that when you were talking so much about your map choices. Why do you decide that now is a good moment to start a new build? Because I assume that when we get the asset editor, that at least for a while will be very disruptive on old builds, and probably will be a moment that is very well suited to start a new build in. So if I would be in your position, I would try to hold out another month in either some very small build where you know you can just build something very quickly in a month and move on, or go back to your old build if that still works. I'm not sure if you actually feel like, or if that died in all of that troubleshooting number. But yeah, I would not want to start a new build now where the editor is so close. And obviously you do whatever you find best. But I figured I asked you, because maybe you just didn't think about it and you agree with me. Yeah, okay, then no worries. But I also think if the last time you tried your save was after the Bridges and Ports DLC, try it again, because Los Vagos was unplayable after Bridges and Ports, right? It was playable if I put the difficulty too low, but it just feels bad. I don't know, I like the simulation. I already find the simulation too easy. I did not want to put my save on easy mode, but on normal mode this was quite literally unplayable. That's why I did not stream any Los Vagos in that time. So if that's the last time you tested your save, I would recommend you to give it another try. Because now with the bicycle patch, all of my issues that I had after Bridges and Ports just disappeared without me having to do anything. Which I mean, I expected, that's why I did not play, because they said it's bugs and I did not feel like rebuilding half of my city. Just so they bug fix it a while later and I rebuilt everything. I guess so, but it's part of what I mean. Like, if it's not super much work to fix it, then I would probably just try to spend my time in there till the editor and then switch. Or again, find a build that is kind of quick and fast, but I wouldn't want to start a new main build right now at least. Here I'm gonna leave the bollards away for now, because we still need to properly detail out this slot and put decals on there. I don't exactly know how I want this to look, so I'm gonna hold off on that for now. Can you guys see this? Look at the wheels of this vehicle. A lot of the LODs gotten so much worse on the distance. Like, if you look at the wheels, at least for me, this looks incredibly buggy. Now it's fine, because we're closer, but yeah, now we're far away. Look at this, like at the front wheel. What the actual? That is so bad. Yeah, this distance, look, same thing happening. It's like it's completely floating full. And the wheels also disappear, but that's not the worst thing. On this side, it's even worse. That's really strange, to be honest. Okay, yeah, I don't think we've entirely finished this, but there is a very few things I still want to do. One of the things I still want to do is fix up these curbs real quick. These all look fine. These all don't look fine. And let's see, can we be lazy and pick those? Yes, we can. Big fan. Because then I want to fix up these curbs real quick. I can tell you, the editor is like, I've been working on my map, as you know. The water is so much work. I'm also probably being a bit overly ambitious and perfectionist. But I will spend a lot of time on just the water. Like, I don't want to put a number behind it, because it's going to be embarrassing. But I spend a lot of time on the water already, and I'm so far from done. So I'm gonna take my sweet time with the map. I was not joking when I said you guys can expect me to finish the map in a few months from now. The more I work on the map, the more I feel like that has been a realistic time frame from the start. Because the amount of time I put it into the water already is absurd, and I think I'm far from done. Like, not only like placing the water right, like terraforming everything is so much work water-wise, and I think I'm currently at 530 water sources in the map, which I'm probably going a bit overboard with water sources, but the new water sources give you a lot of control over the level of the water, and you can really carefully balance it if you use quite a bit of them. So yeah, if you want really high quality, then I think you need a lot of sources, and it makes sense. But yeah, QGIS is really fun. Like, I was very angry at QGIS because many things are really frustrating and annoyingly complicated in the game. But I think by now I actually know everything I need to know to use QGIS for what I want to use it for. And goddamn did I enjoy it as well. Yeah, I mean, I also lack experience in the editor, so same, but it's part of the fun of the journey, right? And part of why I said I'm sure I'm gonna be really slow with it, because, yeah, I need to learn the editor, so I don't expect to be done anytime soon. But I also do really want to take my sweet time, right? Like, I don't want to rush anything. I want to really take my time and slowly build through the build, and eventually, if the map is done, I'm happy, but I'm sure that's gonna be a long time. And maybe this is just my impression, but it feels like in the US, nobody ever returns their card, so this is what you get. You know what... I'm curious, actually, do you know how this is done in Germany, Const? Because this is not an issue in Germany, and it's a very easy solution to the problem that I guess you could use in the US as well, but for some reason don't. In Germany, you pay a deposit on this. If you get a card, you have to put money in it. There is like a small... Like if you go to this thing, hold on, we have these things, like you do in the US as well. But then the difference is these are chained to something, right? Like the front one is chained to something, and then all of these are chained to each other. Each of these has like a small box here, and in this small box you put coins, like €1 or €2 usually, and then it has a chain that locks it to the next one. And if you put the coin, then it unlocks it, and if you lock it again, it gives you your coin back, so it's like a deposit, I guess. It's not like it costs you money to use that thing, you get the money back, but you need the coin to get it, so you also need to return it to get your coin back. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Aldi, of course, the German supermarket, is doing the same in the US, I guess. Probably Trader Joe's as well, because it's owned by Aldi, I would guess. Yeah, makes sense that they bring these practices from here. I mean, it is annoying, I get it, but then if nobody returns his card, then I also get that they have to do it, even if they wouldn't want to. Can we get this to... That's a little too long. I wish it would fit just in this... What if we... Ah! This is a pretty goddamn perfect fit over there. Yeah, this is where we put the cards instead. I like this. This is nearly perfect fit. Not sure if I nailed the angle. I absolutely did not nail the angle. Oh, I don't like that. It peeks through on one side, but I cannot... Can we manage to move it so slightly with this that we get it to poke in... Oh, it's the wrong direction. In both sides. Or in none of them, but I want it to be the same. Okay, here it shows. Is it hidden here? No. If we move it one, is it still here? Oh my god, it's so close to being perfect. It's fine, we just don't show it in the backside. Like on this side, nobody's gonna look. And the next time, I don't think we're gonna do that today, but we're gonna build out this alley here nicely in the back, having all kind of like deliveries and dumpsters, and make it a bit rough and then add graffiti. But in the front, I actually, for once, want this to be fairly well taken care of. obviously, beside people returning their cards, because people don't do that in the US. But outside of the cards, I want this to be taken fairly well care of. And I guess because this roof is so long, we're actually gonna go through here and make these lines a bit longer. Make one very long one even, and then obviously to add a bit of flair, because people are really lazy, somebody went nearly all the way to return it and then decided still not to properly return it. And now we want these. And does that mean, cons, if you got everything figured out and finally decided on a map and all, that you're gonna go stream on Twitch again? Because I know that you kept saying you want to, but then you had so many issues that I guess that didn't really happen. But now you have everything figured. I guess that is your plan. Because if so, everybody follow cons. Very nice gentleman and nice builder. But I think there is one, actually I don't think I'm gonna do that now. There is one thing I wanna still do, and it's staining all of this and bring some garage and do the decal work. But the truth is, since I wanna go over and try to see if I can get the ground to be somewhat smoother, I don't wanna cover up everything with decals already, because that's gonna make it quite a bit more finicky for us to do that. So I think I'll actually use this moment, because the next ad break is starting in 4 minutes, so no need to send you guys through another ad break. I think I'm gonna use a moment and have a look at who we're raiding, and we're gonna dive back and finish this in the next build, and then finally we're gonna go back to what we started the next time and start building our shooting range here. That really, we're in US build, us not having a shooting range, yes, it's just embarrassing. We need more guns in this build, and I will not disappoint. You guys will get your guns. It's one of the things we will dive into on the next stream. But yes, I'll put you cuties in a nice frame here for a moment, where we can see the train in the background and our nice roof terrace we've been building on. And then I will have a look at who we can raid and send you guys out over there. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in and for the new follows today. I don't stream on a schedule. If anybody wants to catch my next streams or something, easiest for you guys to do is join my Discord, where I always ping when I go online, or follow me on Twitch or anything. And with that, I am checking. I think Kodiak is still streaming, if I see correctly. I did raid Kodiak the last stream, so maybe somebody else is still playing Cities. Clovis is playing Cities. That's perfect, actually. I'm gonna send you guys over to Clovis, because I've been raiding everybody else fairly recently, but Clovis I've been not catching so much lately, so I'm sure you guys will have a nice time over at Clovis. And with that, again, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I wish all of you cuties an absolute wonderful evening and good night, and have a good one over at Clovis. And yeah, Geronimo, keep posting logs, either for me or in the Cities Discord, and just tag me into it, and I can have a look at it as well. But I'm sure other people are better suited to fix your issue than I am. But again, have a wonderful night, cuties.